What if Darth Revan had never turned back to the light? The Jedi Council had stripped him of his memories, reforging him as a tool for the Republic. They sought to erase Darth Revan and replace him with their own agent, a Jedi puppet who would do their bidding. But fate, or the Force itself, had different plans. As Darth Malak's flagship, the Leviathan, trembled under the weight of battle, Revan faced the truth of who he once was. Malak's words cut deep, revealing the Jedi's deception. The Council had taken his past, manipulated his identity, and turned him against his allies. But the truth did not break him, it strengthened him. Revan's hand clenched around the hilt of his lightsaber. His memories were fragments, but they were his. He had not been weak. He had been a conqueror. Bastilla Shan stood before him, the Jedi's hope of redemption. Her golden blade hummed in defiance, her voice steady, yet pleading. "We can still stop Malak," she said. "We can destroy the Sith Empire. Together." Revan's eyes burned with something beyond anger. Purpose. He saw now that the Jedi feared power, that they had tried to mold him into their weapon. No longer. "I was powerful, and now I will be once more." Bastilla barely had time to react. In one fluid motion, Revan's crimson blade ignited, slashing through her defenses. The Jedi Knight staggered, gasping as her saber fell from her hands. She had tried to redeem him. Instead, she had only ensured her own fall. Revan's return sent shockwaves across the galaxy. The Republic, believing him lost to their cause, now faced their worst nightmare. Darth Revan, at full power, his strategic mind unchained, and his control over the Starforge absolute. Without hesitation, he crushed Malak and reclaimed his throne as Dark Lord of the Sith. His forces, once fragmented under Malak's erratic rule, now moved with brutal precision. He was not like Malak. Where Malak had ruled through terror and reckless destruction, Revan ruled with cold calculation. The Republic's fleets fell before him, unable to counter his tactical brilliance. One by one, Jedi enclaves were obliterated. He did not seek their extinction, only their submission. Some Jedi turned willingly, others fought to the bitter end. The Sith Empire grew, its might stretching further than even during the Great Sith War. Revan's war was not one of mindless slaughter, but one of inevitability. He did not need to burn the Republic to the ground. He simply made it irrelevant. The Jedi Order, broken and scattered, sought refuge on hidden worlds. The Republic Senate, paralyzed by fear, fell into chaos. And then, the final blow. Revan's fleet descended upon Coruscant. The Republic's last great bastion fell without a fight. The Senate had surrendered. The Sith Empire had won. But for Revan, victory was never the end. It was only the beginning. With the Republic's fall, the galaxy braced for an age of darkness. But Revan did not rule through blind brutality. His empire was not the chaotic, war-torn nightmare of past Sith regimes. He saw beyond the petty rivalries of Sith Lords, beyond the endless cycles of destruction that had defined his predecessors. He restructured the Sith Order. No longer would it be a nest of backstabbing ambition. Those who followed him would serve a greater purpose. Strength, intelligence, and loyalty were rewarded. Those who sought only personal gain were eliminated. There was no room for weakness. And yet, something stirred in the shadows. Not all Jedi had been defeated. A small, hidden enclave remained, a last hope for the light. Among them, a former friend, Mitra Surik, the Jedi exile. Surik had once fought alongside Revan in the Mandalorian Wars. She had followed his command, admired his brilliance, but now she stood against him, leading a desperate resistance. She and a handful of surviving Jedi Masters prepared for one last stand. Revan, ever the strategist, allowed them to believe they had a chance. And then he crushed them. The battle was swift. One by one, the Jedi fell. Only Mitra remained. Why? She asked, her voice filled with both rage and sorrow. You were our leader. You fought for something greater. I still do, Revan said, igniting his saber. But you cannot see it. Revan had spent years ensuring his empire would not fall into the same traps as the Sith of old. But Sith were always Sith. Ambition could not be erased. It could only be controlled for a time. Some of his closest allies began to plot against him. A dark shadow loomed. Darth Nihilus, a being of pure hunger. And Darth Sion, the undying executioner. They saw Revan's empire not as strength, but as weakness, and so they struck. The civil war was brutal. Revan faced them alone. Nihilus, whose very presence drained the life from the Force itself. Sion, who could not be killed, whose body was held together by pure hatred, and countless traitorous Sith believing they could seize power. But Revan had always been the strongest. The battle raged across the ruins of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. Lightning clashed against saber. The Force screamed in agony. Sion fell first, finally broken beyond repair. Nihilus could not consume what was already whole. Revan destroyed him utterly. The traitors were slaughtered, and at the end of it all, Revan stood alone. The galaxy belonged to him. There were no Jedi left. The Sith had been reshaped in his image. The Republic was a relic of the past. For years, he ruled in silence. Order, stability, an empire that stretched across the stars. But power was a void that could never be filled. And in the silence of the Dark Lord's throne, Revan finally understood. The Sith always believed in strength, but true strength was not ruling. It was letting go. One day, Revan vanished. His empire continued, his legacy enduring in whispers. Some say he sought knowledge beyond the stars. Others believe he was searching for something even greater than power. But the truth remained. Darth Revan had left the galaxy forever changed. Drop the scenarios you would like to see in the comments, and I will pick one every week for Fan Friday. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.